Here's the latest updates in the AI space. Let's start off with Mr. Bill Gates, and he says that AI chatbots can teach kids to read within 18 months. Now, this is going to be a major revolution in the education learning space, especially for younger children and people growing up. With the combination of the new AI technology, it's going to make learning much faster and easier. So the main reason is that AI can give you immediate feedback. So it's essentially like your AI assistant. And if you ever try learning something new, you know that getting immediate feedback makes it much faster to learn and also makes it more enjoyable. So they do mention that most AIs typically develop utilizing mathematical equations. However, it seems that some of the reasons is that AI needs improvement with reasoning abilities so they can handle the complexity of math calculation. So something as simple as a basic multiplying of numbers, sometimes it can't really do that. However, some equations or some problems it manages to do much better. In other news from Business Insider, talks about the new Snapchat AI. And also, if you want to save some time and see the latest updates in the AI space, make sure you hit that subscribe button because I'm posting every major thing that has happened out there. So now, taking a look back at Snapchat. Apparently, Snapchat added a ChatGPT like AI to their application, and let's just say some of the results are scary. So here is a little conversation that Insider team had with the Snapchat AI, and this is basically asking it about food and Popeye's chicken and sauces, and you can see here this is a fairly simple basic conversation. However, let's take a look at other conversations that might make people a little worried. So here's one where it actually manages to know where this person is living. So first off, the person says, "Where do I live?" and it says, "I'm not sure." But then ask it, "Is there a pharmacy near me?" And then what apparently it does is it showcases a pharmacy that is supposedly right next or near to this person's home address. So in terms of information access, I'm sure Snapchat most likely has information to your personal data if you do obviously have it allowing to view it and if you have the location setting on. So it could be behind the scene data that is simply collecting, but again, that is something that if you thought it didn't know where you live, maybe it might know. So here they responded with saying, "My AI understands a Snapchatter's age and location if it has been granted by them." And they say that obviously it's not perfect, but just note that this is 99.5% of my responses will conform to their community guidelines. So if you have given them access to your information, particularly age and location, then it may be able to know that if you were to ask the My AI, aka the ChatGPT style prompt. In other news, Europe is supposedly worried big time about ChatGPT. So let's deep dive into what is going on. So even though they know that there are a few restrictions that they have implemented in ChatGPT, they do notice that one, it has a lot of visits to their website, and two is that it could assist bad actors out there to create bad things because it's obviously open to the public. So it's nothing stopping them from doing something that they shouldn't do. In terms of the regulations, it's very difficult to know exactly how the AI is going to perform if there's certain ways you can twist the words and ask it in a different manner. So here they actually showcase how it could help bad actors by simply improving the amount of time, or essentially decreasing the amount of time, I should say, to figure out information on a particular area. Now there's many ways that you could see this happening, but that is just one thing. And recently, Italy has put a temporary ban on ChatGPT, apparently because a glitch exposed user files. So again, I'm not fully immersed with Italian laws. However, based off what they stated, it did break some of their laws, which in turn resulted them in putting a temporary ban. So this is going to be major for the next few months because depending on what happens, if anything goes wrong, we could see some major updates to the current AI programs out there. In other news, if you guys did not see my recent upload, Google has announced Google DeepMind. So just a quick recap is that DeepMind has partnered with the brain team from Google Research into their single unit, which they call Google DeepMind. Now, I'm not going to deep dive into DeepMind in this video, but if you want to see the previous one I posted, I talk all about their previous achievements in what they created. But in short, just know that DeepMind has worked on a lot of highly advanced AI projects. One of the famous ones, AlphaZero, basically chess AI that could be the top chess players in the world, and you can see some more of their stuff on their websites. But let's move on to the other major news out there. So this next update is about Drake. And if you don't know who that is, he is a very, very famous music artist, very well known for a lot of his popular songs in today's world. And somebody, a ghostwriter, apparently managed to create his voice in an AI generated song of him rapping to another upcoming famous music artist called Ice Spice Munch, and basically Drake was not happy about this. So I can see why he's upset. However, this creates a massive problem now for not just artists like Drake himself, but companies that make money from this type of music. Also, platforms such as YouTube. How are they going to know if that song that was generated was actually created from the original artist, or it was AI generated and it was all fake? Because if you are not familiar, there is a lot of copyright legal stuff regarding people that use music from artists, and there's also music that you can use as long as you create it yourself and you own all the rights. However, AI generated music, who essentially owns that? If technically you created the AI product, however, it sounds just like somebody else, that's where it becomes a very risky and hard to really figure out how to go about that. Because same with Midjourney, for example, the AI image generating software. What happens if you type in a prompt and you obviously have no clue what's gonna pop out, and it just happened to look like something very well known? Let's say, for example, a painting of Mona Lisa, and then you type it in, you create your own variation, and obviously the Mona Lisa is very popular, but let's just say hypothetically you created something you had no clue existed, and then out of nowhere someone's like, hey, this looks just like what I created X amount of years ago. It's very difficult to know, especially if this AI is referencing something that is trained on upon data. So this one is NVIDIA and their text to video AI, and this so far up to date is the highest quality text to video AI generator that I have seen. And I also made a video deep diving into the details. If you can check that out, you'll want to see that on my channel. Basically, this is going to revolutionize the future of video creation, because you can see everything in front of you right now is all created from AI. This was not edited or made manually. So just imagine the things that people can create in the next few months. But again, this is the weekly updates in the AI space. So if you want to follow along and see the latest updates, save yourself some time from researching, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe.